So today I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to steek, which is useful if you knit a pullover in the round and you later want to cut it and make it into a cardigan. So this is done by reinforcing stitches that you've already knit and then just cutting right through them. So all you're going to need for this tutorial is your finished sweater. I'm just using a swatch because it's smaller and easier to show you guys what's going on. A pair of scissors, a crochet hook that's roughly about the size that you use for your knitting, and some waste yarn. So the first step is reinforcing your stitches, and on the city sweater, it's designed so that you'll always be cutting through through a pair of knit stitches. So that's just how it's designed. Every single size you'll be reinforcing 2 knit stitches. So I'm going to show you on these 2. So I've just rotated my work to make the crocheting part a little bit easier, but these are the stitches that we will be cutting through, and we're going to start with this row right here. So I first inserted my crochet hook just a little bit to the side of that row of stitches, not towards the center where we'll be cutting, but to the side. So it's a very simple crochet stitch throughout this whole process, so it's really just a lot of slip stitches. So we've already inserted our needle, you just loop the yarn over and you'll pull that right through. Alright, so we've got our first slip stitch ready to go on our needle. From here on out we want to make sure we're only working with the working yarn, which is attached to the ball and not the tail. And the next step is to insert for the next stitch, so we'll go right under this knit V stitch and come out through the middle, catching everything underneath. My crochet hook is all inserted under that first stitch and ready to go. You can see through the back that there's nothing that it missed back there, and it's popping out right through the middle where these bridges of stitches are that we will eventually be cutting through. From here on out, it's just the routine stitch. So you've got your yarn over and you'll pull that all the way through the 2 stitches, the one that you kind of picked up in your original stitch, and then that's the same thing all the way through. You'll pick up a stitch, yarn over, pull through. Alright, so I've made it all the way up that first V, which you can see is now kind of a giant blob, and I've went a little bit to the side just like I did on the bottom, so then I'll cut that, secure it, weave in the ends, and I'll do the other side of stitches. This second V is kind of hiding under, as I said, this giant blob, so I worked up this way, so now I'm going to rotate my work and I'm going to go through these V's this way. So I'm going to start right over here and work through these. I've got my first slip stitch just to the side of these V's, and I've got my crochet hook inserted below that first stitch. You can see through the back I didn't miss anything, and we're just going to start the same process all over again, going all the way back. I made it all the way back, my second set of V's, and now you can see it's 2 giant blobs. So we're going to rotate it back just as we would be looking at the cardigan from the bottom up, and you'll see when I pull these 2 blobs apart, there's a few ladders. These are what we're going to be cutting. Alright, so get your scissors ready and get ready to go. So I've started my first view, and you can see it's already starting to open up and curl under a little bit. It looks very nice with that little edging, so I'm just going to keep cutting all the way through the top. And there you have it, 2 separate pieces that are cut and steeked and have a pretty nice little edging, and blocking will smooth out any of these lumps. And there you go, that's how you turn a pullover into a cardigan.